How many of these no-name cassettes did you own or at least see before? Dockerphone C60 cassette, made in West Germany. Typical of German cassettes, it's got flathead screws, and the pressure pad is just a bit of foam, and there's no spring at all. That's the colour of the tape about there. Telex high-speed audio cassette C90 Pro duplicator. Made in New Zealand. And it's got a paper label and rather attractive looking shell on black screws. And that's the colour of the tape about there. High Energy by Dindy C90 cassette, no country of origin. Very average, regular looking sort of shell. Red leaded tape and rather dark brown tape. And a bit fussy J card with a warranty here and a mail order form here. So these could have been mail order cassettes. And a low noise C60 Pacific tape. Pacific was a firm that developed film at the chemists, and this would have been available at the chemist at the time. There is a date on the J card, but let's have a look at the tape. Pretty dark brown looking tape on it. And on the J card there is something that looks like a time date code, 1977 it says there, or just 77 as a code. And the J card's got writing on it. And this Silver Shadow low noise C90 with precision cassette mechanism, I reckon, made in China, is probably the newest so far. Rather average looking shell. And relatively dark looking brown dark tape. And a transonic low noise hi-fi cassette made in Hong Kong, think that might say it all. Possibly older than the Silver Shadow cassette we just looked at. And this has relatively light brown tape in it. Like that. And a Robbins Sonoramic cassette that is boasting a frequency response capability of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz on the J card. A rather average looking shell and a paper label, and on the paper label just there it says a Robbins Green Matraville and a postcode of 2036 in New South Wales. That's about the colour of the tape. So it's a Green Corp tape by Green Corp Magnetics. And here we've got that frequency response claim. A couple of Clarion cassettes. This one was featured in a previous video. There's a full video about it. And Clarion was a Australian recording label, and these, I would imagine, they sold as their own brand of cassettes. This one looks like an older version from the same company, and unfortunately the cassette lost its label. High-tech cassette from 1979, and I wouldn't expect anything high-tech from this cassette, I don't think. Very average looking shell, probably made in Hong Kong, and light brown tape. Three different cassettes, each one made somewhere else in a different country of origin. This one, the C90 blank cassette, or C60 sorry, made in Hong Kong. It's got a relatively good looking shell. And pale brown looking tape in it. And the J card says made in Hong Kong. The second Music for Pleasure cassette, Black Magic it says. However, this one's assembled in Mexico, it says on the label, and the tape is not Black Magic, it's Brown Magic. And the third Music for Pleasure cassette, a head cleaner cassette, without a spring pad behind the cleaning tape. and the J card says Made in USA. This is how the Maxima LN90 J card would look, and this is a cassette. Very dark brown tape, almost black, and probably made in Hong Kong. No J card for this Japanese made no-name cassette. It definitely tells us it's made in Japan. And that little logo there, it says musicals on there. Relatively dark brown, dull looking tape. And that's about the colour there. Again, no J card for this no-name compact cassette or instant loading tape cartridge as it says there, which makes me think it might originate from North America. Relatively dark brown tape. Allegro sound recording cassette, boasting full frequency response, high fidelity on the J card at the front. And really light brown tape. Another Japanese no-name cassette. Kind of looking like a Sony or a Sanyo cassette, C60 in this case. Japan on the shell and Japan on the label. Opus XD1 90 cassette with rich brown tape and their own logo on the leader tape. And this is about the colour of the rich brown tape there. G-tape, G90 with relatively dark brown tape and imported from Hong Kong. MS800 Acme C60 cassette, super high energy they say on the J card at the front, but no cassette with this one. Just the J card. Country of origin, Germany. Gold ring magnetic recording tape, and it boasts 60 years in the sound business on the J card. The inside of a J card is almost identical to the Allegro cassette from previously. As seen previously, made in Australia. And now match newer Rainbow XD90 cassette, and it's got a similar style J card to the G tape with double folds. and dark brown tape. Made in Hong Kong in 1987 or thereabouts. The XL high precision cassette, which is relatively pleasant to look at with its clear shell. Nord C90, J card only, no information on anything at all on this cassette. These three cassettes are Tonex, Audio Sonic. They look like they came from the same factory in China somewhere, going by that logo there on that one and that one there, and a similar looking here on the head cleaner cassette. Both have relatively dark looking brown tape, but it's not identical on the both cassettes. There's probably a few years in between that Audio Sonic being the older one and the Tonex being the newer version. And the last cassette, the Magdom's LN Dynasonic Low Noise C90, which is made in Taiwan, and it does have like a quality look to it, to the shell and the label. Thanks for watching, and see you next or the previous video.